Good afternoon, you're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. Well, before we head into our stories, first we'll take a look at headlines.
President says legislation regarding local government authorities needs to be amended. President invites all MPs to strengthen the government. Fertilizer prices reduced from midnight tonight. Writ application filed by Mahindananda Alutgamage seeking to prevent his arrest dismissed. Former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva ordered to begin a 12-year jail sentence.
President Maithripala Sirisena has condemned the mob attack on the head office of MTV MBC Media Network, which took place on Wednesday night. The president went on to state he and his government will not stand for any such acts against the media.
President Maithripala Sirisena stated the legislation pertaining to local government authorities needs to be amended immediately. The President said the present legislation pertaining to local government authorities has led to a situation where the people's mandate is not being accepted. He went on to state political parties that won the elections merging with opposition parties does not add any value to the people's mandate. President Maithripala Sirisena says the number of local government members must be reduced to 4,000. At the meeting with heads of media institutions today, the President said he had discussed with the Prime Minister on the matters of appointing a new cabinet and distribution of ministerial subjects. President Sirisena said a committee representing both sides will be appointed to inquire into these matters. The head of state went on to note that he extends an invitation to all parliamentarians to strengthen the government. At this meeting, the heads of media institutions raised questions to the President on what measures will be taken on the Sri Lanka Freedom Party MPs who voted in favour of the motion of no confidence and were not in Parliament when the vote took place. The President said the matter will be discussed at the SLFP Central Working Committee meeting next week. The President in addition noted reports claiming government employees' salaries are subject to tax are false. Moreover, the President has declared May 7th as a government holiday as May Day will be celebrated on that day.
Minister of Agriculture Duminda Dissanayake says concessionary price will be made available to paddy farmers and farmers of the other crops. Accordingly, fertilizer will be issued at 500 rupees for paddy farmers, while the fertilizer for farmers cultivating other crops will be issued at 1,500, calling a media briefing. Minister Duminda Dissanayake said implementation measures will be taken place through the agriculture development centres. Minister further said fertilizers will be distributed as usual. The written application filed by MP Mahindananda Alutgamage seeking prevention of his arrest by the police FCID was dismissed by the Court of Appeal today. Well, with that, we move on to more local news now. 2 people have died in separate accidents that took place in Anuradhapura.
An accident claimed the life of a man when his motorbike collided with a lorry that was parked on the side of the road in Siambala Gaswava area along the Anuradhapura Trincomalee main road. The victim was a 49-year-old resident of Kartagastigilya. The victim was a police sergeant attached to the Anuradhapura police. The driver of the lorry was arrested by the Mihintale police for parking the lorry on the road in a dangerous manner. A SUV attached to the Saliapura army camp had veered off the road in Rambava, Anuradhapura and collided with the electricity post. Electricity supply to the area was also disrupted following the accident. An accident between a motorbike and a van at the Jaffna junction in Anuradhapura claimed the life of a 17-year-old youth. Our correspondent said the van had also collided with a car.
Private buses operating along several routes in Galle refrained from operating today. The private bus employs alleged Sri Lankan Transport Board buses are operating on said road violating the bus timetable. Private buses operating in Udugama, Yakkalamulla, Pinnaduwa, Pilana, Devalahena, Kadurgasena and several other roads in Gaul refrained from operating from 9 this morning. With that, we move on to more local news. A stock of illicit alcohol was discovered by the Higuragoda police in Kaudulla National Park.
Police seized 4 barrels of alcohol along with equipments used to manufacture alcohol. Police said one suspect was arrested and the other suspects have fled the scene. The suspect is due to be produced before the Higuragoda District Court.
For many years, the Urupota Primary School in the Kurunegala district faced serious issues with inability to access clean drinking water. With the aim of bringing an end to these issues, Gamada launched the construction of a tube well at the school today. The Urupota Primary School provided education to around 150 students and is one of the many schools that face an issue with access to water. According to principal, no matter what the issue was, the school faces academic as the school are at a higher standards. Through them, there are many tube wells in the school. The school well did not contain sufficient water to meet the requirement. Thereafter, the school principal informed Gammatha and the team decided to launch the project to put an end to this issue. The project is sponsored by a local businessman named Suresh Sanjeeva and is supporting the project in memory of his late father.